Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. So today we are taking a look at the Sorcerer. I got a few comments, a couple of them hilariously aggro, I will say, but they wanted to see this build in play. So that's what we're going to do today. This is the build that was just released, and I have a Bobo build that's like ready to go. I'm just editing it down. So I might also kind of show some gameplay for that as well. Today, what we have changed a few things just because we are doing the endless archive. So I'm going to throw on the pale order ring here. Pretty important. I've also got later on we'll switch to some Heartland Conqueror and Torix Pact if we're going a little bit farther. The plan is to go for about an hour today. I don't really plan on going much longer than that, so we'll just see how far we get. I do have a friend joining me, someone I haven't seen or played with in a very long time, but he's actually in like one of my first videos, the How to Blame a Healer video, if you've seen that. So he was in there when I was trolling everybody for the video, so that's really nice. Donville is going to be joining us. But of course, we swapped out for Azurblight here on Trash. We will swap something else back in on the bosses. Azurblight just does really well on Trash. It's just a great set, so highly recommend it. And then we've got Aegis Caller. A couple of notes. Oh, hey, Lyriel. Thanks for dropping in. you were also in the How to Blame a Healer video with Dawn, and I think B ran. So Aegis Caller is the other one that we're going to be using today, which is one of the sets we talked about. Whenever we do the Bobo build, we can't use Aegis Caller because it is melee damage. Is what? Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's critical melee damage. Yeah. Okay. I was like, am I wrong? Yeah. Okay. It is. I was like, I did that whole video. No. Okay. Critical melee damage. Which is similar to one of the other sets that we chose as well, with Advancing Aokita, a.k.a. Berserking Warrior. Hey, Nani! We're doing the 2-bar Sorc build today. So those are the two sets that we're going to be running. Aegis Caller is just really fun. It looks really cool. So that's what we're running. We're front barring that, and then I'm just going with a Maelstrom back bar. And again, we went with the Ring of the Pale Order. For those, I think people were looking at some options and stuff like that for the build. One of the things I recommended was Velothi, the Velothi Urmage amulet, and it parses lower than some of the other stuff. But the reason I left it on there, just as I'm giving you a for instance on this build. The reason I left it on there is because it gives you minor force at all times, in addition to the damage buffs. And so what that would allow you to do, especially if you're running around solo or something like that, is you can drop Barb Trap if you need a shield or a utility skill. You could drop Barb Trap, and that would let you keep on Hurricane and all your other skills. So I think it probably leads to some of the least DPS loss with maximum survivability and stuff like that. So just checking chat over here. This is Lyriel. This is meant to just be a full-on parse. The video itself was like a full-on parse setup for kind of meta maximum DPS, and then I'm just kind of showing some of the options for survivability here because I think a Sorc can be really survivable. Like for instance, I went with the Twilight Matriarch. Another thing here is that you'll see that not all my skills are leveled up. during the last like 2 events, I was like, I'm going to level up everything, and I didn't manage to do it on all my classes, but that's okay. It's totally fine. We'll actually get some decent XP in here. The other thing is, my gear is purple. Your weapons, you do really want to gold out for maximum damage, and ideally you would eventually gold out everything else, but it's not the end of the world. You do lose some damage, but if you're not in a setup, like if I was going into a really sweaty trial, I would make sure all my gear was gold. If not, then I'm not really that worried about it. It's not that big of a deal. What are the Burden Scamps names? So this guy here is Rufus, and Aquantanese, who's somebody I actually know. I think I named them something else earlier, but I don't remember. So we're going with the I hope she won't mind. I'm sure she's not watching. All right. Let me see here. So first things first, we're going to go in. There's going to be some trash in the archive. Of course, that's going to be pretty chill, pretty easy. So on our dual wield bar, first thing we're going to do is we don't need a single target spammable. That's not really going to do a whole lot for us. So we're going to swap out Whirling Blades as our spammable. Now, we do need some skill from the Dark Magic skill line to make sure that we keep our unique buff here procced with our extra spell critical rating. And so, you know, that's why we have this here. That's why we have it on the build. We could still drop it for something else because an AoE skill is just going to be better in general. Couple of things we could probably do. We could throw on Blade Cloak. That would help us with some of the AoE damage. I feel like I'm going to have to leave to go respec at some point. Do we want Quick Cloak? I forget if we get the Major or Minor Expedition from this. We get Minor Expedition at all times. Okay, great. So yeah, we'll be incredibly fast if we go with Quick Cloak. So I think that's what we'll do. We are losing the crit bonus, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. We could also swap out Barb Trap if we wanted to in Trash, ideally, if I had Sigik unlock on this guy, and we would use Channeled Acceleration so that we could get that buff. We could pre-buff it before each fight, but we'll just use Barb Trap. Hurricane's great. It's going to give us that major resolve. It's going to do damage. Also, the Minor Expedition. Stampede's good for a gap closer. Of course, we got our pets, and this is going to be our main heal. I am going to swap the Matriarch here, I think, just so it's a little bit easier. I like my 4 spot. It's a little bit easier to get. And then Daedric Prey will leave the same. No pants, no passives. Listen, Kite Arrow is wearing pants today, as you can see, the Azure Blight pants. Well, I guess the skeleton's not wearing anything, so maybe that counts. All right, sounds good. Good luck with your group. All right, Naughty's heading off to go run a trial. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and start here, and like I said, Don is going to join us, I suppose, when he can. So first thing, we'll pre-buff our Scamp. We will pre-buff our two-handed, and then, you know, I haven't really done this with a whole bunch of pets yet, so I'm not exactly sure how well that's going to work. With getting everything stacked could be really annoying. That really fun. That's our Aegis Caller. I also don't have food on, but luckily we're we're on the first level here, so it shouldn't be a big deal. And I've also got Magpots slotted, so that's, you know, we're just 10 out of 10 here. All right, let's see if we got some stam food. We'll have to wait till after this trash. This is about how I go into most pulls, just so that we're all on the same page with how I actually do things. I haven't ran this in quite a while. For those who don't know, I have a bit of an overuse injury, so it keeps me from playing right now as much as I might otherwise like. So, yeah, just no stam. I need some stam food. All right, cool. All right, great. Let's grab some. Well, let's see what I have. If you guys have any questions about the build and want me to go over anything, now is a great time. Feel free to ask away. Oh my gosh, so much stuff in here. I'm not seeing anything. I think I've been using this guy to hold some items. All right. So probably want some max health. We'll probably do Dubious here. We talked about this on the build. We want max health. We want max stamina. And we also want some stamina recovery. So Dubious is probably the way to go. At first, if we don't need as much stamina as much max health, we could just go with Parse Food for maximum damage. And that's going to be fine for the first couple of levels here. So I think we could go with something like Lavafoot Stomp or something like that. We'll split off a few. Where does Lyriel here is asking where Sorc rates as far as like most fun to play, like as far as like my favorite DDs? That is a great question. I think that Sorcs have a ton of really fun abilities. You can be incredibly fast, and then with streak and everything else, like to me that puts them pretty high on the list as far anything with a teleport. Unsurprisingly, probably to most people, I find to be very enjoyable. So they also have a lot of utility in that you can be incredibly tanky. So I'm not exactly, hey, Don, what's going on, man? You getting in here? So, yeah, I don't know. I would say, I don't know, top half at least. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which is which I would put highest. I think Nightblade, obviously, I love the most, but yeah. Yeah, Don Bull. Yeah, he is an old and forgotten average player. That's Don Bull for those who don't know in chat right now. Juan Carlos. We also don't have expensive weapon power potions, so we'll grab those out and make sure we have those slotted just to help speed things along here. And then we should be good to go. Did I actually eat the food that I grabbed out? Probably not. All right, a couple of verses. We don't really care about these right now because it's going to be so easy they won't matter. So I'm just going to grab whatever. Logging in now. All right, awesome, man. All right. We should pre-buff here. Probably, typically you want to pre-buff before you aggro the enemies, but you know. We're doing it live. And the Aegis Caller set, like, it just looks so good. It does. It's really fun, too, because Aegis Caller, the reason it works so well on the Sorc, we'll just drop some of that just because we can, is because all the pets that we have get buffed from our Daedric Prey. So this skill right here, get a 40% damage increase to all of our active pets. Yeah, Lyriel, someone can join absolutely any time in the Endless Archive. Yeah, and it'll swap you over as soon as they join at any point, or if you pull out one of your companions to... oh, we got our first mini-boss here. I don't think I've fought this guy. Bitter Green the Wild? I haven't... Why am I fighting this guy? I don't want to fight this guy. He's cute. Look at him. He's adorable. Why am I fighting this guy? This seems horrible. I don't want to do this, Lyriel. Just... Don Bull's cracking open a Red Bull. Yeah, so Lyria, just for the record, I don't want to be doing this. I don't want to be fighting this guy, okay? All right, I can't be blamed. Blame sauce. All right, so we're going to pre-buff here just like we would in like a trial. We're going to melt this guy in like 2 seconds. Hurricane, we can always cast early as long as we're not going to hit anything in aggro. We'll also pop our Scamp early. You can see it does damage, and then it does damage over time, so that'll get that active. And then we'll charge in with our Stampede. We'll have to drop Trap first. I'll also pre-buff. You know what? We don't need Cloak now. We can just go with our Crystal Frags, so we'll do that. And, you know, I should probably be saving all of this, but we'll save it afterwards here, I suppose. All right, and let's, hard cast the frags. And then we have a instant cast there of our frags that procced. We're going to make sure that our, we're not, I'm still an Azure Blight. That's part of the issue here, so, C'est la vie. I assume there's some sort of mechanic here. Do we got to interrupt those guys so they're healing them? I'm not used to having to actually do the mechanics in here. Keeps interrupting me with my channeled spammable there. Should definitely get some better pre-buffs and sets going on so I can melt those guys quicker. That took forever. Cool. So we got Thematic Boon. Effects of Magic Flame Frost and Shock damage. Armored Shell. And Learned Lessons and gain more experience. I actually do need more experience. We're doing that. I'm leveling skills. We're going to level in the Endless Archive right now. Alright, now I gotta remember to swap sets here. Substitute boss, let's do this. And then, let me see here. Dual wield. There we go. I was hard casting frags. That was just my fat fingers there. I think that looks good. I think we'll go with this. Am I forgetting something? I feel like I'm forgetting something, but we'll go with it. Hey, there he is. There's the man. This is the hotline for the Dauntless Leader Nighthar. That is, yes, correct. Don, what's going on? Don, I'm in Discord here too, man. If you want to join. yeah, man, just port to me and we can do this thing, man. I think Don's gonna be on his DK is what I'm guessing. I didn't check, but I'm gonna guess he's gonna be on his DK. Look at that. So Don, I guess let me know if you're in comms here before I start chatting with you. Give him a minute to get in. Yeah, I think almost having like a chain or something would be kind of nice just to group everybody, or I should probably just be line of sighting them all. Maybe we'll do that. It's kind of hard because they die so quickly. It's like, do you line of sight? Does that just take longer? I don't know. Do the pets keep them out of line of sight? I'm not sure. Oh my gosh. Yeah, see, pet's just hanging out. Henry, what are you doing over here, dude? Just RPing? Killing this guy by yourself?
Well, I can't tell you what I expected, but you exceeded.
Don, are you, oh, hey, Don's here. Hey, Don! Hold on, I gotta mess with a setting here. Don, what's up, man? Hey, would you like me to kind of run you through what's going on here, man? Or you just you live in life? Happy to just be playing. Can you hear me in Discord now? Hopefully. Okay, cool. So basically, there's like waves of trash that happen here. Once you get ported in, there should be like a pretty obvious gate to use. So just head in there, and then yeah, there's waves of trash that we have to deal with here, and then after that, we might need to go a little bit more. We might need to go a little bit more mag focused here. We're struggling with some of the sustain. Yeah, there's a handful. Then you have like a mini boss, and then at the end you have Thoat Replicana, who is like the main boss, and then you fight him several times. It increases difficulty, and then eventually it kind of plateaus. Yeah, I could talk about it a lot, but that's probably the gist of it. Just gonna turn those off. All right. And then at the end, it's supposed to be like roguelike is the idea here. Are you in here, man? I will wait to go in until you join. There's like these mini games. You have the stream up. Can you hear me now though in Discord? Hopefully. Yeah, so they have these various mini games. I don't know. It'll either put us in the easiest one or the hardest one. Oh, okay. This one is just gonna. This one's like not really. This one you just get a quest here. So there's like 5 mini games, I think. And they have 5 levels of difficulty, if I'm remembering correctly. And so the first ones, it'll start you, and once you complete each one on a various difficulties, it'll push you to the next one. So for ease of use, we're gonna rock Onsouls here, just so we don't have to worry about stamina management and pre-buffing. It would actually, I mean, Coral. I should probably, I don't know. Could also run Coral, but we'll just stick with Onsouls just again because it's kind of easy. Let's make sure to save this. Wrong door. Yeah, if you want to stream for me, man, I can help you get in here. But you should be able to arrive to where I'm at. There's a door right here. Huh. Interesting. We're just having some technical audio issues. Okay, so yeah, man, we're just gonna burn this guy. All right, so just get a good pre-buff here, and then I'll count us in. Pull like in 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, we can kill this imp too and like get a reward. I think he like evaporates. Oh well. If you kill the boss before you kill the imp, he just goes away, I think. Cool. So here you get a vision, man. These stay. The smaller ones that we get between all the trash pulls, those only last through like the next like round. So these last permanently though. There's some of them like this crystalline support, which will let you like turn into an avatar when you get some of them. That basically makes that round like free. So highly recommend getting those when you can. So that's what we'll go with here. If you get the one for status effects that causes status effects to deal more damage or gives you increased chances, 100% take that. It's like the most broken one. They are not by any means created equal. And then this is just like a trash setup here. So just waves of trash. And this ramps up, so there's no difficulty in this, man. So it'll start off and it'll be like incredibly trivial, which kind of is. And then as we go through each level, it'll get increasingly more difficult. Unfortunately, the way it's set up right now, the hardest thing to deal with is the trash. So there's these elite ads that will come out, and they end up being like the hardest thing to deal with here. So you'll see them when they come out. The first, I don't know. I think they start out actually fairly difficult, but if they get on you, you can just kind of hold block and just try to survive as best you can. Once we get to the later ones, I can kind of tank it a little bit, and I'll swap up my gear sets and everything. Oh yeah, these still don't matter. You can read them if you want just to see what they do. But again, they'll kind of only last for a round, and it's not really like a big deal right now because everything will die so quickly anyways. Yeah, and it can help to like try to line of sight these guys, I suppose, so that they stack for us, but with the pets, it might not matter. If you see something that says like spawning in, it'll say like spawning in something, then that tells you that the elite trash packs or trash ads are coming in. And like typical, they're like larger than normal, so.
Your gifts from Hermaeus Mora are ready for you here.
You're getting game audio, now you're not. That's really interesting. Let me just check. The Red Bulls are, I don't know, they're one of ours. I didn't actually look what I did. One of the temporary buffs though does that. So yeah, it's one of us for sure. All right, so we're already to I think our third boss here. Same deal. We'll pre-buff and then going heavy, pulling in 3, 2, 1. Hey, there we go. All right. Max stamina. Damage shield increase. Critical damage. I think we'll go with the critical damage. If we were that worried about stamina sustain right now, like we're having problems with all these skills here, just for anybody watching. So we could go with like Daedric Mines. That would be a decent one from our class skill line. Trying to think of what else we can do. We will use Bound Aegis a little bit later, so that's why I have that particular morph. You can also do, you know, the lightning for a bit of AoE damage as well with Magicka. Crit Surge here could be nice just to have extra heals over time too. So those are kind of the main ones that I would consider swapping in. Yeah, the first boss disappeared. That's actually like the third boss. But yeah, they just again, because there's no like difficulties. This is like supposed to be normal where anybody can kind of complete this. So yeah, it's a thing. It is a thing. Whenever I've come in here with like Daedric and we're on like fully optimized builds for here, it can be kind of silly on the first couple, honestly. It's really, you don't really put any dots down unless you can pre-buff them. You just go with full on spammables because everything dies so quickly. This is kind of one of the complaints I think still is about here is that, you know, some of these guys, you know, it's just like, it feels like a little bit of a waste of time, these first couple of ones. So that's why I haven't been back here. Same deal here. I'm just kind of grabbing whatever because who cares? It doesn't really matter. Later on, those will be important. So we should be guaranteed a one of the elite ads soon. You get one of them every like larger round, so should be getting one soon. Man, the Aegis Caller set just looks so good, so fun. That in and of itself is reason enough to use Aegis Caller, I think. Oh man, a real DK just yanking him out of my, yanking him away from me. Oh man, you know you got a DK in the group when. Where's the guy? We're not getting anybody coming in here. I guess. Okay, so I think we have one more stage. And then, so I think the guys got to spawn in on this one. Yeah, the graphics were so fun, and it did melt so fast. For real. Still getting a little bit quieter than expected. Let me see if I can just turn up the game audio there a little bit. I appreciate you helping me with the audio. Okay, we have Nazare here. Another one I don't want to kill. L'Oreal, they're making me do it. Just want you to know that it's not my choice. All right, we're gonna open with some frags here, pulling in 3, 2, 1. And since this is going to die so quick, I just stayed on spammables there and didn't re-up any of my dots because it was going to die before they had a chance to tick down, and so I didn't really need to.
This is it. This is the fragment we needed. This completes the mimic. All we need now is
All right. Magic recovery. That'd be really nice if we could use some stamina recovery right now. Max health. And critical with Marshall. I think we're definitely going to do that. You get anything good, Ben? I remember a friend on on console was like, "Do you guys just?" They're asking me like, "Oh, do you guys just like hit a button and switch all your gear?" And I was like, "Oh no, we don't do anything as pedestrian as hit a button. Our gear just swaps for us." He was giving me a hard time, so I was giving him a hard time back with, "No, we don't have to hit buttons. Our gear just swaps for us." A feature everybody should have, really. Look at that Colossus coming in.
Don't mind me.
Dude, you're gonna like these mini games, Don, when they come up. You're gonna, especially if you get like the library, you get transformed into a watcher, one of these little watchers. It's pretty amazing. So hopefully, oh, here we go. All right, so we're going in. Portal to the unknown. All right, cool, man. So you wanna do this? I'll let you. So if you get up to them, you can see that it'll highlight on the floor which ones it. Which one here? I'll get away so it only shows the ones you're looking at. And you have to basically remember, like, you want to learn which one it is, and then you have to hit them in order while the other person runs the route. Oh, it took. Yeah, I forgot it takes off all your stuff on your bar. So yeah, just memorize the route here. Looks like 1, 2, 3. Actually, okay, it must be going kind of easy on you. Is that right? Is this on the next one? Yeah, 1, 2. Actually, I think it's like, is it just 1, 2, 3, 4? What is going on here? Oh my God. Yeah, it's just fucking in order. There you go. You got it. So just click them in order, left to right, and I'll follow the path, man. And they respawn after a bit, so you gotta go quickly. But I guess since you're new to this, it probably gave us like the easiest one, and then the next time you do it after you achieve one successfully, it'll go up to like the next difficulty level. Oh, you gotta click them though. It'll port me back. Oh no! Oh no! All right, put me back. You gotta start over. Start at the first one. Yep. There you go. Oh, that did the. There you go. All right, and the last one. Perfect. Cool, and we're through. And then I'll hit this, and you'll be able to come through. Yeah, these are actually pretty fun. It gives us another verse here, and then you get the chest too. You get to hit the chest.
What up?
Hey, what's going on?
Bored.
Okay, is that Drake? Yeah, yeah,
Oh, you were in here.
yeah, man. We're just streaming some endless archive. Some people, I got some hilariously heated comments about not showing gameplay with the last Stamsork build. I got some really good, like, some people just like, hey, it'd be cool to see this, but I got a couple that were just like hilariously aggro. So not because the hilariously aggro, but because the ones were like, oh yeah, I'd like to see some gameplay. I figured I'd come do a little EA with it.
Are you live streaming on
YouTube.
or what, Twitch or whatever?
Yeah, yep. And just FYI, your audio's coming through. I mean, you're good to hang out, man. Hang out and talk with me, but just letting you know. How you been?
I'm all right. Just hanging out, kind of. Like, since I moved, my internet is really I don't want to say spotty, but like every 10, 15 minutes, I'll just get like massive packet loss. So it makes it hard to like game efficiently. Like, I couldn't do any try groups right now because of it or anything.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah, it's
Huh. Yeah, we were having problems with. I mean, the game's kind of a little bit messed up. We're having problems with like Lyriel's setup earlier. I watched. Did you see the? Do you watch Gamers Nexus?
no, I don't even know what that is.
Oh, that's a YouTube channel. They cover tech stuff. Dude, you gotta go check them out. Also, to everybody watching, go check out Gamers Nexus. Hey Don, we're to the last though at Replicana. So this is the main boss. He's gonna melt. He transforms, or she, I don't know. It transforms into various. The first ones you'll see, like, it's like the first form. So we'll have to go through this each time we fight him, and then it'll transform into something else, and basically bosses that we've been familiar with here. So this is the base form now. Oh, they just did. What I was saying though is that, like, they just did a thing where my buttons are not going off. We're like measuring like total system latency, and they found that like input and other things could be like more of a. Oh yeah, and then roll. You don't want to hit them while that's up, because it just reflects back at you. So you just want to make sure you can get really. You used to get really close into it. I don't know. You can either parse through it or wait for it to go away. and then you just want to roll it so you don't die. But anyways, they found like a direct. Sorry, man, going back and forth. I feel like I got ADHD. No, they found out that like input lag and stuff like that was in a lot of cases worse than server issues. So I thought that was kind of interesting, like total system lag.
I think it depends on like the game too, what you're doing. Like packet loss to me is the worst because I played competitively in a couple games when I lived in Germany, and I had a
Roll.
steady ping of 150 to 180. Um, but it's just when you completely lose connection for a couple seconds and stop doing anything, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Like I've had the rounds with Spectrum for the better part of 4 months now, and might have be having to move to like Starlink or something because there's nothing else
Oh
available
wow.
here.
Okay, that's crazy. Donville, man, this carry's taking forever, dude. What are you doing? Are you even doing DPS? Let's go, dude. Nice. There you go, dude. Carrying me. Yeah. I don't know what they changed or what they've been doing, but it's definitely been worse here. So I don't know.
You're finished here. Meet me back where we met. We should talk.
How's the new patch playing out?
There are more
Uh,
other poet replicanum in the archive.
I mean, kind of what we expected, I think, for the most part. I don't know if there's. I don't know. I don't think there's anything like groundbreakingly crazy. I think it's kind of what we expected, más o menos. Were you looking for anything in particular, or just in general?
No, I guess like the big curiosity was what the new Necro meta is, since stalking was.
You can basically just
it.
you can basically just swap to the stam morph and like not do anything else. So that's fine. And then I'm actually working on a crow video right now, so I'll know more soon. But but for so far, what I found with the dot version, sticking with like the stamp or the magicomorph, I mean, is that it's basically the same damage. Like it's pretty well. It's like perfectly tuned to give you pretty much the same damage, but it's a lot easier of a setup, of course. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of I don't know. I was talking with Clash the other day on stream. You probably saw it. Leave the seducers alone. That I was a little bit. It's so perfectly tuned, then it means that the way DPS is now is like clearly what they want, which means that they don't care about the issues that it causes, and that you still have Arcanist like doing so much more damage on so much easier of a build than every other class in the game. I don't know, that rubs me a little bit the wrong way, but
Yeah, that's kind of why one of the reasons why I kind of got less active was it's not that the Arcanists do so much more single target. I think DKs and can beat them single target. It's the ease at which it does massive single target and massive cleave.
yeah. I mean, 50% of your damage is the beam, right? So it's like, and that's a giant AoE, and then it has an aim assist, So it's just like really, like it has does it also need an aim assist? 3, 2, 1. Like it just feels like overkill for, do we need to give it all the things? Like literally all the things? Hey, we're getting to see a phase. Do we have to do mechanics here? Because I'm not going to know what to do here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I think also once a lot of people take a break and then they realize that, like, I was having to grind a lot. I was having to do a lot of stuff that I didn't want to do the things I did want to do. And then they start to question, like, was it Was it worth it? Is it worth it?
No,
I'm
I
a,
mean, I enjoyed it. I had just kind of got to the point where I had literally every set collected and all the meta traits had more, hundreds of millions of gold and everything, and I don't know. It
feel
just
like
kind
you
of,
completed the game.
yeah. I mean, I could have kept pushing the like Rock Grove try and stuff, but I mean, our group, like, I just didn't have time to do progs during the week, when they were being ran with most of the good groups, and our group ran on Saturday evenings, and you know, I came down here and I didn't want to dedicate like my Saturday evenings to ESO all the time. But outside of that, there was literally nothing to do.
Yeah, yeah. So Don, that was one of the Marauders, man. That was actually the easiest one. I wasn't paying attention. He does basically two mechanics. That one that I just died to, you literally just got to walk out of it. I was just not paying enough attention there, man. But yeah, that's one of them. The other ones actually hit harder. So once you die to him, though, you won't see another one until until a new round has spawned. Are you have you been playing anything else, single player or otherwise? I guess not
Me
with your
and
internet.
well, yeah, like I, I can still play ESO. I just couldn't do a try group with the packet loss. Like
Yeah,
I could still parse like 120. I do fine. I could do the dungeon try groups, but I wouldn't be confident enough that it wouldn't cause me to like throw a, Sunspire or Dawnbreaker trifecta. But I've been playing Ultima Online again with Manifest a bit on one of the player run servers.
oh, okay, that's cool.
I can do most everything there except like I can't really do the like the 1 versus 1 ranked PvP arenas. I can do everything else though with it, and it's not so bad.
I've been playing Helldivers too. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun, man. That game is just designed to be clippable, to be memeable, and to just be like incredibly fun.
Miles told me to get that, but I kind of shied away from it just because I didn't know how well I would do with a shooter game with the internet issues.
Internet situation, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean it's nice because it's PVE, but I totally get that. That could be frustrating if you're having issues and you're trying to like perform or whatever. I also think like a lot of people have asked me about it. I'm like, it's a ton of fun. Like they see the devs seem like they're pretty cool and they're trying to make a really fun game. I don't know if it'll have staying power for sure. So if it's one of only 2 games, 3, 2, 1 that you're gonna get, like I don't know, maybe you should think about it. I'm gonna kill this imp here so we can get the buff from this guy. Did we get him? My complaint with the Aegis Caller is I can't see anything with the Aegis Caller out. It makes the screen a little cluttered. Yeah, I'm going to PAX East this week, so I leave on I think Wednesday. It starts on Thursday, and I'm hoping to. I'm gonna meet some people and maybe get some because you can only buy so many games before it's a losing proposition. So hopefully I'll get some review keys and get to take a look at some other games, and then I've only kind of said something on live streams because I figure most people don't actually watch these. Like I don't want to make like an announcement, but I'm also getting some help with making a website, which will be primarily ESO builds on there. So. But that'll probably take a while, so that's why I haven't really like announced it or whatever yet. But it is,
Yeah.
it's in the works.
The like as far as the other games, I was really excited for Skull and Bones. I was looking forward to that, but then like I
Oh yeah,
I don't ever prepay for games anymore, or buy them on like release day. I've just burned so many times.
yeah.
And the reviews came out, and just I guess to make a pun, kind of took the wind out of my sails with that one.
Yeah, yeah. I saw and heard the same thing. I know there's a lot of people that were like, "Oh, this is going to be." Yeah, it's so sad when you're like, "Oh, I have high hopes for a game," and then it's what it turns into. Don, so we got to run around, man. We got to run around. Stay away from the farmers. They try to kill you. So just keep moving. Just keep moving, and then you want to look for the sweet rolls. You're just trying to get some sweet rolls. So like, there's one over here, and then you just got to eat it, and while avoiding the AOE's from the farmer. The trick is to run up top and then kind of jump off, and they have to run around, and that gives you time to like eat the sweet roll with hopefully out without taking too much damage. So that's the trick. It's the pro strat. Just run up top and then jump off, and they'll have to follow you the long way around. Yeah, it's kind of crazy the what some of these game companies do with like putting out really questionable
Yeah.
products. I honestly, eventually, Don Bull, you'll get enough for an ultimate. Like, there's some up here, man. You can come up here, and you'll be able to turn and kill the farmer, like Ram, like Ultium. But yeah, like it's kind of nuts. I don't know the state of the game industry right now.
And I mean, to me, Baldur's Gate was outside of Baldur's Gate. There's not really anything, and granted, it could be that just like I'm not a kid anymore or a teenager, but outside of Baldur's Gate, I can't really tell you anything that's really, really piqued my interest and came through in the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, totally. Like I actually was like picking up some older games recently when I've been like looking at like stuff to talk about. Like No Man's Sky is I think finally in like a like in a
Playable state after a decade.
yeah, exactly. I think I started to say this, but I consider myself like a late adopter. Like because I do the YouTube thing, obviously I try to keep up with it more. But like if I was just purely left to my own devices, like 100%, like I'm a super late adopter because I'm with you. I just like I don't want to, is it good? Like let's see what the reviews are, So I would like to be able to be one of the people helping people out and doing those reviews and stuff like that. It's just also kind of hard because somebody likes most of these games, like even if we don't.
Right.
And there's always the person who's like, oh no, they're gonna make it good, and you're like, dude, that they're not. Like this is what it is. But to that person, if you do an honest review, like I was, it was over a year ago, Master of Magic. Do you remember that game from way back in the day? It was a 4X.
Yeah, I feel like I do.
I like you had to play like I had to load in on DOS mode, man. So I had to like that's how I learned how to CD / like how to change directories. And 3, 2, 1. And there's a company that I guess like had the rights for it, and they're remaking it, and it was literally turns out it was like literally just a remake. And like they didn't change absolutely anything, but their marketing didn't really reflect that. At least I didn't feel it did. And so I told people, I was like, I'm excited for this game. This is one of the first games I ever played. I like love this game. And so I talked about it and talked it up, and then it came out, and I was like, this is literally just the same game that looks a little bit prettier. And people have been modding the old game to add all kinds of features to it for like years and years. It's called Caster of Magic, is the modified version. And these guys did basically an updated graphics on the very old game and didn't change anything. And that was like 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago. like game development has come a long way in 25 years or whatever, right? Like, so I just was really disappointed in it, and so I felt like I had to do a review to tell, people that I've been telling like I'm hyped for this game. I feel like, oh, now I gotta tell them that they shouldn't buy this game because I don't want people being mad at me. And so I did an honest review, and the fanboys hated me for it, and told me I'd never played the original. Told me I didn't know what I was talking about. Like, basically just called me a liar about everything, and like I didn't really like the game or appreciate it or.
Yeah, I mean, everything has its like rabid. I mean, everything that stays around like that's gonna have some, real diehard rabid fans. I, I don't know. It's like, you kind of see the same thing with ESO. Like, if you go to the ESO Reddits, like, one of the things I liked so much about ESO was how high the skill ceiling was in the combat.
There's a
And
merchant here, Don Bull, for repairs.
you go to like some of the forums and the Reddits, and people are complaining about it so much. The light attack weaving, the skill 1 per second usage, and this sort of thing. And it's like, why are you guys arguing for a cookie cutter tab combat MMO that's been done to death for 20 years? Like,
Yeah, I hold on, let me explain this to Don. Well, hey Don, so we're gonna go into the middle. He's gonna shoot off little wisps. You have to quote unquote herd them, but basically you just walk over them, and then they'll start following you, and then you hold block and walk back to the center to herd them back to the center. So if it releases like 6 of them, we're on hard mode. If it releases like a couple, then we'll be okay. Okay, yeah, just gave us a couple. So there's one behind you, I think. So just go get it and then just slowly walk back to the center. I think, yeah, it's that way. Yeah, I can't do tab target combat anymore. Like I like ESO. Like you can, it's kind of the hybrid where you can tab something because you need to be able to do that sometime for the game to work properly. But it prioritizes what you're pointing your reticle at. Yeah, but I can't go back. I tried doing a Final Fantasy 14 because I have some friends that play that, and I tried, man. I've tried multiple times. I haven't done any videos on it or anything. It's just like I get I have friends that love it, but I can't do that kind of combat anymore.
yeah, no, I played WoW real heavily during the Legion expansion, and I never PvP'd in WoW or anything, but I was a Mythic Raider, and I enjoyed it at the time. And then I played through the first half of the Battle for Azeroth expansion, and then kind of stopped. And I had got a little bit tired of ESO one time, and I picked up Dragonflight, and I was like, man, I cannot do the tab combat. It's just so boring, Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of mind numbing.
Well, and I think those people that really like it, and I get it, like it's definitely a lot easier, right? And it makes games accessible to more people, and like I want more people to play games and be able to play them for longer. And but at the same time, I'm like, can we again? I think ESO does like the hybrid combat is probably what most things will go to, but I do want. I've been craving like a third-person shooter, which is why I was so excited that turns out, Helldivers was really fun. It's like perfect 3, 2, 1, but yeah. I think we got to run around or something here. I'm not sure.
So did any of the sets they introduced within
into the
this
middle.
archive
Into the middle.
ever become
You got to stand in here, Don. I think. Oh, was I not in it? I guess I couldn't see it. I don't know. I was like, why am I taking damage? The Templar set is decent. You can use that one. It's actually like pretty legit. None of them are meta. Yeah, that I can think about. The Nightblade one sucks. Like you can't eat. Like it's not even really great to like. You could use it in trash, but it's not really great. Trying to think of what else. The Sorcerer one. This one. I think it's okay. But the way it like procs, it's not really good for like single target. So which means obviously it's just not good. So yeah, I don't think any of them are good. You know that they made it where you can get the styles though, so your armor can look like it. You can have like the effect.
I had no idea. I didn't even know they did special effects on them.
Yeah, each one of them has like its own special effect, and yeah. All right. Well, I will try to stand in the center. Don, sorry about that, man. I don't know what my deal was. I thought I was standing inside the circle, and I don't know if it's a colorblind thing or what. Clearly, I wasn't. All right, pulling in 3, 2, 1.
Delicious power. Don't move around so much.
Oh yeah, I can't see where the center of this is at hardly. Okay, I think I I think I can see the center now. Okay. Oh man.
Accept my injury.
Oh no.
What center are you looking for? Because I don't see anything. On the screen
There's like a
the green light.
there's like a safe area. I can see it better now on the gray screen. Do you see it moving around?
Yeah, I saw the light, but it looked like you were in the light to me when you died on the last run.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, then that's what I thought too. But it's really hard for me to see with the colors.
So I thought maybe there was something else that killed you that I wasn't seeing.
Oh, maybe I should have pulled up my death recap. You probably. Yeah, you can try to. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Yeah, you got me.
There is no escape.
Don, you're a boss, man. Oh no, Don, you gotta carry me. What are you doing, dude?
Such delicious power.
All right, we made it through. So if we die again, I think we're done. It like ends the run.
Master Malchus requires this fragment. So I'll just pop it over to him, shall I?
You figured out one of the two mechanics. Yeah. I think I'm gonna swap over. I think I'll swap sets here to go with something a little bit more survivable. Hold on just a second. I gotta grab it out of the bank. You know what? I forgot to put any enchants on any of these, which kind of defeats the purpose of having what I have. But so maybe I'll just swap back. That's unfortunate. I did all the prep to get ready for the stream, and I totally forgot to put enchantments on stuff. That's pretty bad. All right. Oh, well, let's go. Are you going to come back, Drek, and give it a shot when the new spellcrafting comes out?
I don't know. I'll see how it goes, how it is, but I just don't feel like there's enough content being added often enough. I mean, what is it, like 1 trial a year and 4 dungeons a year? You know, it's just gets kind of a little stale. I mean, I don't think 2 trials a year would be unreasonable to ask for. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree. Or even like they could even do something like this, but for 12, or I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of things they could do. Yeah, I think it's weird because I don't think, I didn't see your message here, Don. Can you believe I used to be in the leaderboards in Vatichan and Maelstrom back in the day? I was good. Hey man, I feel you on that a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I've been taking so much that this is definitely more of a struggle for me than it should be. So yeah, it's kind of weird because like a lot of people are like, oh well, it's too small of a market or whatever. But I think the biggest thing to me is when they like block has been broken for like a year and a half now, right? And they show no signs of doing anything about that. They've known about it for that long, and they've gathered all the data. And I've had friends that are programmers and stuff, and some of them even work for game companies, and they'll say stuff like, well, it's just like it's just a formula. It's a math formula, right? Like how many people is this affecting? Is there limited resources? Is there something else that's like affecting more people or something? And while I kind of vaguely get that argument, to me, it's like if your core game features like block are not working, you have to fix that. It first of all, it affects everybody, but if it doesn't, I guess if like, oh, game is crashing for somebody else, then that's more important. I kind of get that, but it's not like they don't have the resources for it, right? Like they have resources, and I don't know, that to me is, I don't know, it's a hard pill to swallow.
I think the uncomfortable truth with it is that the fact the people that the blocking messes up truly affects is extremely small, right? There's probably less than 100, maybe 200 people across North America and Europe that are really pushing trial trifectas and stuff. Maybe another couple hundred in competitive PvP. I wouldn't be surprised if the people that it truly affects are honestly less than 2,000 people total, which is kind of sad.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah, the argument with that, so that was it, Don Bull. The argument with that, and my thought process on the whole thing is that, it affects. There's a lot of people that watch and are interested in sports that they don't play, right? Everybody who watches professional football, Literally every single person. Maybe a small percentage of those people played when they were younger or something like that. But they like, and that adds to the industry of football in general. Just all those people um, that add to that market. And I think that people at Endgame, people watch sports and stuff like that. People watch like esports, because there are people that are really good at it, and that creates hype and it makes people want to go play. Did the people watching, someone like Cyril with StarCraft 2, do the people that are watching that guy, are they playing at that level? No, but they might buy the game and they might watch, just because, right? And so I think that there's a lot of stuff like that, and then I think there's also a bunch of tanks that and new people that I think it's hard for them to measure, and I think they're just ignoring it. But people, there's a reason there's no tanks in the game, right? And it's because block isn't working. And
Well, I would disagree with that, but yeah, there is a reason there's no tanks in the game.
what would you say it is?
The horrible level of player that is the standard DPS.
The DPS make it too hard to tank, is what you're saying?
I mean, why would you tank, right? I mean, I tried actually running a real tank in dungeons, and I'm giving every buff and debuff imaginable, and the DPS together are cracking 8,000. Why would you want to tank when, a random spindle clutch one is going to take 45 minutes? That's just miserable.
Huh.
I mean, granted, it got better when, it got better when the Oaken Soul came out, and it got better when Arcanist came out, but
Well, I think that part of that too is like you run around Overland and you can just murder everything with any build.
that's a large part of it.
And so,
and it's the type of player that they kind of advertise to, right? Like the casual, like the role play heavy type players, and there's obviously nothing wrong with that, but it does create kind of like a delineation between the two ends of the spectrum there. Like, there's a lot of people in the game, like if you look at the forums and Reddit posts and all that, I mean, there's legitimately people in the game with 1,000+ CP that have never done a dungeon, and
yeah. And I mean,
like,
housing, and
it's just wild to me.
I know people that play just for the housing and stuff like that. I don't know. They want to run trials just to get like stuff just so they can unlock stuff for their house and stuff like that. Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. Housing is in game. Yeah. Well, yeah, Don, man, that was it. Yeah, I think also we're like right at an hour. I think we got third arc. That would have been the end of the third one. There, in an hour, and then it just kind of goes from there. Want PVE in game WoW or Final Fantasy 14? Sadly, yeah. I mean, I think that's the whole tab target thing that we were just chatting about. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the other build that I was going to do with this real quick, so I might just chat about that for a second, guys, if you don't mind. Actually, I'll probably port so I can remorph some skills and show them off. So we'll check the Elden Root here. Yeah, what'd you think of it, Don? What'd you think of the whole thing? Well, the Endless Archive so far. Was that okay? Yeah. It's kind of like nothing's going on and then you're dead, right? Like nothing's going on and then you're dead. Yeah. Well, yeah. So if we wanted to swap this build to to like a bow build, which is what the next one is going to be. We actually like it's really close to the same build. I was just I just made it a separate one because I've gotten feedback that it's too confusing if I try to show too many things in a build guide. So I decided, okay, well, I'll split them out then. So it's really the same build here except for your spam bull and your front bar, and then you just can go with the snipe. And I have to read these. I forget which one is which. Yeah, I think it's going to be focused aim. Yeah. So we go with focused aim here. As our main spam bull. And then on the back bar, obviously we can't run Stampede. There's one skill from every skill line that makes sure it procs our back bar enchant. And we're going to go with Endless Hail. And then Hurricane, while still a very good skill, it's going to be a little bit of an issue because we're so far away. So we can swap that out. And if we're on a Bovo build, we might want to go with something more thematic. Yeah, same amount of skill points here. So we're going to go with Poison Injection. And then that's pretty much it. You can switch the morph of Barb Trap here to get the ranged morph. Lightweight Beast Trap, and that's actually throwable. So there's a range on that out to 28 meters, and that'll still give us the minor force that we're needing. Again, if you're running Velothi, you can swap that out. And this is basically the build. If I was in running it in trash, oh sorry, Donna. Oh yeah, I got a DK. I got a Stam DK right now. I'm working on a Mag one coming up. I think are you running? Oh yeah, I do have a DK Endless Archive specific build. So if you wanted to go deep into the Endless Archive, you could go check that out for sure. That's one of only a couple that I've done. I think I did a Nightblade as well. But then, yeah, if you wanted to go with a little bit more AoE, going with something like Aerospray here is going to be the way to go with Acid Spray. And you could just swap that out with Crystal Frags. You want to be careful doing that in groups because Crystal Frags is what provides us with that critical bonus, which is our unique thing that we're providing to the group. But if you're solo, you're doing Endless Archive or something like that for trash, this is absolutely what I would throw in here. And then everything else is pretty much good. Like, Daedric Prey is already doing a little bit of AoE. Again, focused aim is a little bit of an issue because it's only single target. Poison Injection, also single target. So you could throw, if you wanted to throw Acid Spray back here for trash. And then you could leave on your Crystal Frags or do something else for your Crystal Frags. And then if you need more AoE, depending on how you feel about it, Silver Bolts, you could do the morph of that. And Silver Shards here, and that hits a few extra targets. So that can help you out with a little AoE. If you want to stick with the thematic, you're still using a crossbow, not a bow and arrow, but maybe it works for you. So, but yeah. Anyways, I think that's the build and the a little bit of the bow build. I might be doing these more in the future, just because people have asked about it and stuff like that. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you would like to see more of this. I could do dungeons, do trials with them as well. This build wasn't designed for the Endless Archive. That was just the easiest thing for me to kind of short notice go and show everybody on. So that's why I took it there. If we were going really like full Endless Archive, we would do a lot of stuff different to help our survivability and optimize for that. But you can see it works pretty well with just going in there without really changing anything else up. So anyways, I think that's it for the stream, guys. Appreciate everybody watching, and we'll catch you next time.